In our next example, what we're going to do is explore using external pages for our page callback functions. And the reason to do this is that on every page load, every .module file gets loaded of every module that's currently installed. If we can make the code shorter in those module files, then it will improve performance a bit. One way that we can minimize the code is by splitting out our code into several include files, and then using a special parameter in our hook menu item declaration that goes and fetches that include file when it needs it. So the idea here is that all of the code in our .module file isn't needed all of the time, and instead we can load parts of it conditionally based on the path that we're on. So let's go ahead and take a look at how to do that. Jump to your module directory and open up the 11th step, which is called external files. Go ahead and copy all of the code and paste it over the code that's currently in your .module file and save it. If you scroll to the top, you'll see our hook menu function. Go ahead and scroll to the very bottom of this where we've added our new item, and this is the only code that we've added to this file here. Our new item has a path of pages/external, and we're giving it a title of external file and a little description. The page callback is called pages external, and if you look in this file, you won't see this function defined. That's because we're using this file parameter here to define the name of the file that's going to include that callback function, and that's pages.external.inc. So if you jump back to the module directory, you'll see this file here, pages.external.inc, and this will include our callback function. I'm going to jump back to the code. And we've also defined a parameter called file path. By default, this file path parameter will be defined as the path to the module that's defining this menu item. So we could actually leave this out because our include file is in our base directory. But if we were going to put our include file in a subfolder in our module folder, for example, an includes folder, we would want to define this file path and use Drupal get path function to grab the module path and then append the includes folder to it. And then let's go ahead and open up our pages.external.inc file and take a look at the callback function as well. You'll see it has a very similar structure to our previous callback functions. We're just returning it a render array, and it's just got a single item in it, and it's of the type markup, which means that it's going to be some HTML, and we're just passing in a paragraph that says the function that generates this page is in pages.external.inc, which it is. Okay, make sure that your module file is saved, and then jump back to your browser, and go ahead and flush all the caches to make sure that our new menu item is registered. I'm going to jump back to our module file here, and I'm going to copy the path to our external file. It's pages/external here. And I'm going to go ahead and paste that into the browser address bar. Okay, so we have our file, we have the text that's showing up here, and this just demonstrates that our callback function is being added, and it's doing so by having that include file that it's in included, but conditionally based on the path. So it will only be included right now when we go to pages/external. At this point, you probably feel fairly comfortable with the menu system, but my guess is that there's a couple of parts that might feel a little gray. One is how to define local tabs and how to set the default local tab in the right way by overloading or allowing certain functionality to flow through from one menu item to its child menu item. So exploring that could be good. Also, using placeholders can be really useful on a lot of different levels. Placeholders are used for page callbacks, for title callbacks, and you'll see them used extensively through Core Drupal. And whenever you end up using objects or working with objects inside of your menu callbacks, learning how to use those placeholders that load in an object can be very useful as well. So I would suggest exploring those two areas. And then when you're ready, go ahead and move on to the next video.